If some cunt can fuck something up, that cunt will pick the worst possible time to fucking fuck it up, because that cunt's a cunt. I've got that embroidered on a tea towel at home.
Can you guess who the cunt is? That's right, everyone, it's me. It turns out I used the wrong microphone to record with, so the audio quality isn't quite to the standard I want it, but what are you going to do? You can speak to our manager if you want.
Hello and welcome to Can I Speak to Your Manager, the podcast that
is amazed that Gwen Stefani is 50 years old.
Oh.
Yeah, she looks fantastic. We were watching the 30 Rock special that was on recently, and she hasn't aged a day, and I'll have what she's having.
You know, like back in the day on music videos that they all have kind of like a filter to make everyone look useful. I think she's just taken that technology and just put it into real life.
Like Lady Gaga when she did that Bowie tribute where spiders were coming out of her nose and things. She just has a projector
Constant
just on her face of her 19-year-old
intel. Bum, bum, bum.
Quite a lot of processors for that age. I'm Joey Nova, and who are you?
I'm Jordan Lee. Hello.
And today we're going to be discussing airports.
Yay! Because we can't really go to one.
No, do you remember airports, everyone? Weren't they fun?
Do you know what? I don't think I've actually had a really bad experience. Most of the time I've timed it right. / most of the time I'm only going to Scotland anyway.
I thought you drove to Scotland. We
Yeah.
established that last week.
No, I know. I drive to Scotland, but like when I didn't have a car, I'd fly. So that was easy. But I think the only time was, I think, going to Magaluf with 75 of my school friends. And we were stuck in the airport for 8 hours, and then the police came with guns because they thought we were all drunk, and we're like, no, we're okay.
They're just teenagers.
Hello, sorry, we're throwing a ball around.
On with the show. So I have a review for McCarran International, which is in Las Vegas.
Okay.
It's my spiritual home. Las Vegas, not the fucking airport though. Oh, we'll get there, don't worry. Karen writes, travelling with a friend, she forgot her Bluetooth earbuds in the security screening bin. A few minutes later, when she finally noticed, went back to security to see if they were still there. They were not. So it could only mean security had lost them.
Yeah, but what does she bloody expect?
Well,
I
I like how her conclusion is only means security lost them.
Yes.
Not you've lost them.
No, it was security. They were like, look at this woman walking away without these Bluetooth earphones. They're not AirPods because she didn't say they're AirPods, therefore they're not AirPods because you have to say that if you've got them. And
how else will people know?
And obviously they've just, you know, those massive bin things, like you've got to be quick, you've got to be like in and out, even if you've got no belt on, your shoes are somewhere else, and you've got 4 suitcases open. I mean, you know, probably maybe like the worst moment for some people, unless it's a Sunday being hungover.
There's a lot of pressure in those little bins. I tend to just grab everything and run. They're not as bad as trying to get through immigration anywhere in America.
Oh God, is it so?
This is my story.
Oh no.
I'm not pleasant when I'm tired. I don't know.
After careful consideration and deliberation, we have decided not to publish my airport story. It is the kind of story that I think will put me on a no-fly list, so we're just going to skip through that.
Anyway, that's the end of that review.
Okay, we're going for Gatwick Airport.
Gatwick.
I like Gatwick.
It's not my first choice.
No, I mean Heathrow is always everyone's
Yeah.
first choice. Even if you live near Stansted, Heathrow is your first choice.
Yeah, and Heathrow's everyone's first choice. But we're doing Gatwick.
Gatwick, yes. I feel like you can go more continental places at Gatwick. Or more like niche places.
Scotland.
No, you can only go from Heathrow.
Really?
Yeah, Terminal 5, the only place you can go from.
I'm sure I've been from Gatwick somewhere.
I used to go Stansted to Prestwick, which had 5 gates, and it was in Scotland.
Is Prestwick a real place? Because it sounds like one of the made-up towns in Harry Potter.
Prestwick is a place, yes. Outside of Air, if you want to check.
Outside of what?
Air.
Everywhere's outside in the air.
No, Air's a place.
Okay. If you say so.
Okay. Karen writes, Gatwick useless again.
Uh-oh.
It's like personified Gatwick already. It's like, oh, look at what they've done for me. 2 a.m. in the morning and massive queue with family waiting for a bus to get to the car parks. Okay, so he's coming. He's waiting for the bus for the cheap parking,
Yeah.
which is 45 minutes away. You pay crazy money for the car park, and then you wait for ages to get there.
I thought this was the cheap car park.
Yes, it definitely is. Oh, whoa, this is taking a turn. The authorities must take some action against this uselessness. No 0 stars available, otherwise would be massive 0.
The authorities, what, like the Ministry of Uselessness?
Ministry of like, I don't know, parking, transport. Grant Sharp should be on this. Grant Sharps. What's his name? Grant Sharps. Grant Sharps.
Butler's chaps.
Butler's Sharps. Yeah, he needs to take action on this. I mean, here's the thing. I will not choose to park at an airport.
Does your driver not just take you there?
By driver, you mean my father? Yes.
I was trying to big time you up.
Okay,
prime
no,
time
I don't.
Jordan Lee.
I don't have a driver yet. I do. I mean, every now and then when I do get a car with work, it's quite fun. It's quite bougie.
Douchey.
No, there's not an inbuilt douche. Only on the A6. But yeah, no, I wouldn't choose to do that. I'd either get an Uber there.
A Uber?
A Uber, or I would be getting I'll get a train. Maybe not in a global pandemic, but I will get a train.
Oh, not in a pandemic.
No.
No.
I'd treat myself to an Uber.
Yeah, or wait for your agent to book you a decent car.
No, very true. I might scream down the phone. But, no, I'm joking. Agents, I don't know if I have one at this point, but if I do, I love you guys. Love you. Stay
You're
with
fired.
me.
We're preemptively firing you.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about, coming off a plane at 2 a.m. again. Well, actually, to be fair, I'm surprised you're not agreeing with this guy because, 2 a.m. you'd be quite tired from a very long flight.
I may have slept on the flight. I didn't sleep on the flight. I didn't sleep on the flight to America. I was too excited. I'm going to Vegas.
Yes, and then on the way back, you're like, oh god.
Or
what's
New
the
York.
reality?
I can't remember which trip it was.
Maybe it's both. Or neither.
Okay, for my next review, I've got one for Heathrow. So we're going a little more upmarket now.
Ooh, what terminal?
It doesn't say.
Oh, see, that's the deal breaker. I don't actually. Terminal 5, yes. Terminal 2, I've been. And then, I don't know.
4?
Oh, I know this one. Also on the tubes, they always go Heathrow, Terminal 5, and 1, 2, 3. And it's kind of like, that's the priority of what people think now. Like Terminal 5, Gold Star, 1, 2, 3, if you want.
Do you reckon they name them after the star rating?
Ooh, quite possibly.
Okay, so we'll call this Heathrow Terminal 1, because it's got 1 star.
Okay.
Karen writes, I wanted spaghetti more than anything. Couldn't find any. Very disappointed. If I could give this place 0 stars, I would.
Oh, my. Her entire airport experience, which again, you don't really have an experience in an airport, was ruined because she couldn't find spaghetti.
Yep, I would have listed that on the website. Please make sure you don't bring liquids over 100 millilitres. Please make sure you take your belts off when requested. Take out your laptops. Also, we don't have any spaghetti.
Just in case Karen's like, I need it now. Where do I get it?
Exactly.
Surely you'll be able to find spaghetti.
You can't even bring your own. It's political correctness gone mad.
Awful scenes. What is the best meal you've ever had at a airport?
See, this is where I'm a basic hun. I quite like any kind of meal at a pub with a picture of my pint and my food that goes on the gram.
Oh, you're that person that drinks at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, the cheeky pint before I fly out.
Okay.
Happy with it.
I am very much in the mindset of, do you know what? It's got to be a cheeky meal deal that's like £5. Even though normally it'd be £3. I'm like, do you know what? I'm on my Olibobs, it's alright.
A WH Smith meal deal.
Oh, honestly. And then like 2 bottles of like Fanta for £380. Because that's the only thing. They've got you. They know. You ain't going anywhere. You can't go outside. You can't scream for help because if you do, you'll be tackled.
I'm pretty sure before the pandemic they spat on you as well.
Oh yeah, I mean it was an ideal situation. You know when you had to give over your boarding card as well, I would always be like, why? Because I feel like they don't need it. All they're doing is being nosy to see how much they like you or how bougie they think you are, and then they'll change prices accordingly.
And is your flight expensive enough? Are you an actual traveller or are you scum?
Are you sitting in the middle or are you up front in first class? I remember flying first class back from New York on New Year's Eve. That was pretty bougie.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. Well, no, it was an upgrade thing. So, like, You know that whole thing about like asking for upgrades and stuff?
Yeah.
We asked for one, and then they were like, no, they don't have one. And then we got to the gate, and they were like, oh, you've been upgraded. And I was like, all right, here, well. And yeah, we did. We moved from economy premium to business or first or whatever they called it. And it was so annoying because, right, so in the air, aren't the laws like, then there's no laws about drinking?
That doesn't sound true.
Well, no, because it's like international air rules or something like that. And basically, I was like, okay, well, I'm 20 and it's New Year's Eve, so I'd love a glass of champagne to toast in the new year. And this woman was coming round, she had a little tray, and I was like, oh my god, actual knives and forks. I mean, it was a sensation, highly recommend. And then she was just about to put the champagne down. She was like, oh, I'm sorry, how old are you? And I was like, well, I can't lie, can I? Because I've got my passport and they're going to let it sit. So I was just like, oh, I'm 20, like thinking it's fine, you know, because I'm legal in the UK. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry, like you cannot have this, but I've got a Fanta for you. And I was like, okay, this is it, this is the end. So I laid my seat flat and I slept the entire flight and I cried.
All the things to cry about on a plane.
I'm sorry, I want to experience the entire thing. But I couldn't because Karen on board. I'm being a Karen, aren't I?
Not then. No, baby Karen, a Becky.
Well, I was a young... I was a Becky that day. So I mentioned it earlier, we're going to review Prestwick Airport.
Oh, we're just doing made-up reviews now?
No, it is a place. It is a place. It's very small. And do you know what? When I remember this, I was in nursery in Scotland and we had a day out at Prestwick Airport.
In the nursery school?
Yeah, I think so. I must have been 3 or 4. And we went into the airport and we had a look around and then we left. I don't think we actually went anywhere.
Are you sure that the person who was charged with looking after you wasn't just picking someone up from the airport and dragging a bunch of you there in a car?
No, that's not normal at all. That teacher sounds really irresponsible.
Yeah, she didn't take the day off work. She had to go get her husband and take 15 kids with her.
Yeah, that's not a day trip. That's errands.
Quite potentially. It is a real place. Fun fact, it is the only place in the UK that Elvis Presley ever stepped foot in.
Really?
Yeah, he got off a plane and he was in Prestwick Airport for a bit and then he got back on the plane and then he left.
Was it a connecting flight?
I don't know,
Or did
but
he just need a shit?
I think it tells you all you need to know about Prestwick Airport if Elvis Presley gets there and leaves quite quickly after.
Poor Prestwick Airport.
Oh, okay. So Karen writes, on Friday the 17th of May between 1 and 2 a.m, 9 planes landed at the airport. And I will say, the place only has 5 gates, so that's quite a lot.
That's quite busy. Is that this year?
2019.
That's last year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No pandemic then?
No pandemic, normal,
Okay.
day-to-day life.
So she wasn't worried about the influx of people with plague?
No plaguing.
Okay.
Obviously, no one thought to tell the border force, as they only had 3 of 9 desks manned.
Okay,
Again.
so that's 3 planes for 3 desks?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, get through. This resulted in an enormous queue of wheelie travellers that stretched all the way back to the point where we entered the terminal from the concourse. And when she says, honestly, when she says the front of the desk to where you get in the building, I mean, I'm not going to lie, it's probably from your bathroom door to your front door. It's not that big. It's quite small.
Yeah, the Nova Tower isn't a noun for its length or its girth. It's quite tall though.
Border Force then herded the queue towards the automated booths where the unwary were subjected to facial recognition technology and were fingerprinted.
Ooh, sounds very thorough and secure.
Sounds like I know I'm coming into this country and I know I'm going to be fine, it's all secure and quicker. Those little things where you put your passport in and as long as it works, straight out.
Never worked for me.
Well, that's because I don't know why it's that.
It's probably because I keep my passport right near a bunch of magnets.
I mean, yeah, I probably won't know. This is voluntary. It violates Section 8 of the Human Rights Act. Respect for privacy.
Really? I don't think it does, Karen. I don't think you understand international privacy laws at all. I think you're just talking out of your arsehole, aren't you?
I think you're talking load of shit.
But then Karen just says, we refuse to do this, and instead said we wish to be seen by a person, which we were.
All right.
So,
So
what?
why is she complaining?
I don't know. She's screaming. Does she have a megaphone? Is the the world toppling over? Now it is, but yet. As yet, the government have not introduced compulsory fingerprinting of all citizens, and there is currently a case before the High Court complaining about the policy's unauthorized use of facial recognition technology. 1 star.
She sounds like she's probably writing that with a tinfoil hat on.
Yeah, I am very good. Look, at the end of the day, yeah, it's like, yeah, but everyone knows our faces. Everyone's seen them. Everyone on computers, blah, 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 blah.
I often find the people complaining most about their privacy being violated are also Karens who will put pictures of their children doing absolutely everything online, publicly, for all the world to see.
Oh,
Like,
very
I don't want the government tracking me. Because Facebook are doing it for them. Fucking moron.
But I will say, Presswick, shout out to you. You're still thriving. You're still surviving.
And it turns out a real place. Who knew? Back to Gatwick. Karen writes, so my train had got delayed to arrive at the airport, so I was in a rush to get to my gate because I had very little to make it.
Okay, I mean, it happens to a lot of people.
Okay,
Trains
yeah.
are late, but also, it's a very important flight. You should be there 2 hours before.
You should allow time. I'm from the US and I'm not sure if things are different here, but as I'm going through security, they made me throw all my liquids away, even though they were less than 100 millilitres.
Well, what they probably might have done is seen them not where they're supposed to be and thought, yeah, well, you've done it wrong. Or they are above 100 millilitres, and she's done it in fluid ounces.
Very possibly, because she's American. Shall I do an accent?
Knock yourself out.
Apparently it's because the...
Wow.
I'm not going to do it.
No, come on, you got to try.
Okay. Apparently it's because the
I
container...
hate it, stop.
I could do it in Welsh.
Fine.
Alright, I'm Karen from Wales. Apparently it's because the container was slightly bigger than the regulations, even though it was half empty and had maybe 50 millilitres in it each. So she's turned up with bigger containers and it's got less in. What
You
do you expect security to do? Go through each and every one and open them, look in, pour it out, measure it, and work out what the liquids are? Fuck you, Karen.
Sally Karen. Like, I'm not turning up with a 2 litre bottle of Fanta and like 100 millilitres left and going like, no, I can take it through.
Yeah, because you're going to fill out with vodka when you get through.
Absolutely.
Festival rules, bitch. Whoop, whoop. I continue through security and they're flagging everyone's bag to be opened and checked. It seemed wholly unnecessary and the line was huge. 2 people right in front of me weren't claiming their bags and were holding up the entire line. In capital letters.
Ooh.
Because they couldn't find who the owners of the bags were. Probably looking for their Bluetooth headphones. Callbacks. It was 7:15 and my gate closet at 7:30. So I lean over to the guy working security and I kindly ask him if he would put those 2 unreclaimed bags to the side and continue with mine since my gate closes soon. Ooh.
Oh, asking security to do something, I think that is a red
If you want to,
cross.
I'm going to do the top tips now rather than at the end, but if
Okay.
you want to get through quickly, do not fuck with, do not joke with, do not say anything to security.
Don't even smile.
Don't even smile. Just do what they tell you. Don't question it. Don't sigh. Don't tut. Don't roll your eyes. Don't do anything. If you tell them how to do their job, they are going to ensure that you miss your flight.
Absolutely.
They will go out of their way to do it. Anyway, Karen continues. He rolled his eyes at me and said, "Should have gotten here earlier then. Everyone says that."
In Welsh, it's even better.
Well done to the security guard. I looked at him shocked and stayed quiet. Finally, my bag gets checked and the guy looks at me very harshly and said, "Why do you have liquids in here?" I tell him that they already made me throw all my liquids out and that all I had was my makeup. He says makeup isn't a liquid and continues searching at the slowest pace possible. Oh, I can't imagine why.
Oh, God. I mean, yeah, I understand you be stressed and all that kind of thing, but also, like, don't show it.
No, don't
Like,
sell it.
grin and bear it, internalise the entire thing, because you were going slower and slower.
Do you know, I think if I win the lottery, I think I might go into airport security. Because I think it would really suit my skill set and my personality.
I
Just
think you were
being,
going to say buy security.
what to purchase.
Just purchase like like one that you could have at home. And then you,
What, to
and
make
you
people
employ
come into my house?
Yeah, you
No
employ a
liquids.
guy to stand there. You have to make them queue outside for 5 minutes, take the shoes off and the belt.
I could employ a guy. But I could just wear a moustache and do a different voice, like, "Hello there, you're the one to come in and see Joy, right? I'm gonna need you to take your belt off and your shoes, and you're quite attractive. In fact, take the rest of it off."
So I think one is more impressive than one is you having a mental breakdown.
Can't it be two things? Anyway, Karen continues. He then finds a tube of mascara, points to it, and says, "This is liquid. Should have been here earlier if you're in such a rush, and shouldn't have tried to sneak in liquids." All this.
Yeah, Karen's coming in with a whole C4 in a mascara thing, going like, "Oh, guys, quick!"
It could happen.
Well, with you in that queue.
I didn't have any mascara that day. Just dragging up in a queue, like, "They're going to deal with me in a minute." Thankfully, made it to my flight at 7:28 with 2 minutes to spare. 4 exclamation marks. The airport itself, seating-wise, kind of comfortable, but the staff are awful in capital letters.
Oh, so pros of the airport, alright seats, cons, all the staff are dicks.
If you arrive late and
Yeah.
give them sass.
Yeah, basically. So,
You know.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not on your side there, Karen.
One more for Heathrow. Karen writes, "Worst place to lose your stuff." Spell it wrong, so you haven't loose your stuff. Is that when you get like flexible? Do you take a hula hoop?
If you're going to go through the airport post-yoga, you're going to be pretty loosey-goosey. All the poppers.
Oh God.
They're less than 100 milliliters.
No, I know, but we're not taking. No, they're also not okay to
What,
take
on a
on a
plane?
board. Yes, they're highly flammable.
Oh. Okay.
Someone will retrieve it within 20 minutes, but the terminal is designed so you can't go back. I don't understand any of that. Someone will retrieve it within 20 minutes, but the
Wait.
way the terminal is designed so you can't go back.
Does she design terminals?
It should not take over 3 hours to collect a lost and found item. Hello? People have connecting flights.
Is this the Bluetooth earbuds?
She's back. She's back for more. She's lost more.
Second callback.
Either rebook your flight or just forget what you lost. Very unorganised. Our 7 people, none of them new, as in brand new, nothing.
Well, welcome to the internet where you can practice English.
And we finish with, what the hell? It's called customer service in a timely manner.
I've never heard of it referred to as customer service in a timely manner. It's usually just customer service.
Good afternoon, customer service in a timely manner. Jordan speaking. How can I be of assistance?
Our calls will be monitored for training purposes.
In a timely manner.
Okay, I'm going to do some quick fire ones. Karen writes, very bad Wi-Fi service. Seats are awful to sit on. Food is overpriced and shallow.
I agree as well. Shallow and pedantic.
Shallow? What? I mean, to be fair, the Wi-Fi is pretty terrible. You only get 15 minutes for free. But you know what? Get 4G in your life, hun.
Next, I've been at the airport with my wife and had all cigarettes taken off us because we didn't know Tenerife wasn't in the EU, so fair enough, but they didn't even give us one cartoon I was allowed to bring in. When I watch the programmes on the TV, even when people had too many cigarettes, they still give them one cartoon. What is allowed? Seem like they're choosing whom they allow to take one cartoon home, even when we don't give nothing back. Ridiculous.
Oh, bring on Brexit.
Next, Karen writes, drone info is a lie.
Sorry. Drone info is a lie.
You can see it right there.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember when the drone thing was flying over the airport and all the planes had to be grounded? It was
Oh,
a couple
yeah,
years
drone
ago.
info is a lie.
About
Is she
a
on
year.
it?
And she must have been delayed there and just there to lie. Fake news. Well, that takes us to the end of our airport episode.
How do you feel about airports now?
I am ambivalent. I don't really want to book anything at the moment because stuff's getting cancelled left, right and centre. The information's confusing. I know people who've had a lot of difficulty trying to get refunds out of things. I am not in a rush. So I think I'm just going to staycation. Probably go camping, get drunk and ruin alcohol for everyone. Whoopsie!
Do you know what? I always think of an airport as a service and not a place to be. Apart from, I remember watching once a YouTube video of a dude that spent 72 hours at an airport and that looked pretty bougie and then got found out.
Was that not Tom Hanks? Lives in an airport.
Oh, I know who Tom Hanks is.
Yeah.
Does he live in an airport all the time?
Yeah, in the film.
Oh, right, not in real life.
No, no.
Oh, okay.
It's like Castaway, but he's in an airport.
Imagine buying an airport and making that your house.
I could bring my security guy that I'm hiring from home and put him there.
And on that note, thank you so much for listening to this week's Can I Speak to Your Manager?
I'm going to run through the socials. Instagram and Twitter, it's Can I Speak to Your. Facebook, which is a dead platform which I'm never going to update, Can I Speak to Your Manager. And for business inquiries, to give us some of that sweet, sweet mattress money and find out how we truly feel about Oma mattresses, you can email us at canispeaktoyou@gmail.com. I've been Joey Nova.
Oh, what? No, I like what you were doing it.
He's Jordan Lee. Follow him on his socials. He's big time. They're linked on the profiles and things. And we shall see you next week, where we'll be going over something which I'm not going to commit to putting in the ending of this podcast because I might change my mind.
As always, bye.
Bye.
Well, that was fucking dreadful.